What if I told you this isn't just a Mercedes Maybach? It's a 720 horsepower luxury missile built for people who think Rolls-Royce is a little too subtle. This is the Maybach S680 V12 by Mansory, a car that mixes old-school V12 smoothness with full-blown supercar aggression. We're talking handcrafted leather everywhere, a cabin quieter than most private jets, and an exhaust note you'd never expect from a chauffeur-driven sedan. But here's the real question: does turning the world's most elegant luxury car into a 720 horsepower monster actually make it better? Or does it ruin what a Maybach is supposed to be? Stay with me because the answer might surprise you. The car we're looking at today sits right at the top of the luxury food chain, the Mercedes Maybach S680, now taken to an extreme by Mansory. For decades, Maybach has been the symbol of quiet wealth: long wheelbases, whisper soft rides, and rear seats designed more for being chauffeured than for driving. It's the kind of car built for CEOs, royalty, and anyone who values comfort over attention. Mansory, on the other hand, plays by very different rules. This is a brand known for turning already exclusive cars into rolling statements, louder, faster, and impossible to ignore. So when these two worlds collide, it creates something that's genuinely fascinating. This isn't just another luxury sedan launch. It's a test of how far ultra-luxury can be pushed before it becomes something else entirely. In today's market, where electric luxury cars are taking over headlines, a hand-built V12 Maybach feels almost rebellious. It's aimed at buyers who still want tradition, power, and craftsmanship, but with a much stronger presence than a standard S-Class. In the next few minutes, we'll break down how this car looks, feels, and performs, and whether this Mansory treatment actually elevates the Maybach experience or changes it too much to make sense. Now let's get into the part where this car really starts to separate itself, because the Mansory Maybach S680 P720 is nothing like a standard luxury sedan once you look closer. From the outside, the first thing you notice is presence. This car doesn't just arrive, it announces itself. Mansory's carbon fiber treatment completely changes the personality of the Maybach. The redesigned front bumper looks wider and more aggressive, the grille is darker and more sculpted, and the carbon hood instantly signals that this isn't built only for quiet cruising. Along the sides, custom wheels fill the arches perfectly, giving this long luxury sedan a planted, almost muscular stance. And around the back, subtle aero touches and a reworked exhaust hint that something serious is hiding underneath. Step inside and the mood shifts again, but in the opposite direction. This cabin is pure excess in the best way possible. Hand-stitched leather covers almost every surface, often in bold two-tone color combinations that you'd never see in a factory Maybach. The seats feel more like high-end lounge chairs than car seats, with deep cushioning, massage functions, and enough legroom in the rear to stretch out fully. Ambient lighting wraps around the cabin, and at night it feels more like a luxury penthouse than a vehicle. Even the smallest details, seat belts, stitching, trim pieces, are customized to remind you this is not standard. But the biggest surprise comes when you press the accelerator. Under that long hood is a hand-built 6.0-liter twin-turbo V12, now tuned by Mansory to produce around 720 horsepower. That's supercar territory in a car that weighs as much as a small truck. The power delivery is smooth, almost effortless, but don't be fooled. When you push it, this Maybach moves with shocking urgency. Highway merges happen instantly, and passing traffic feels almost unfair. And yes, the sound matters here. It's deeper, louder, and far more emotional than any luxury sedan has a right to be. Technology is exactly what you'd expect at this level. Large digital displays dominate the dashboard, rear passengers get their own screens and controls, and everything from climate to seat position can be adjusted with minimal effort. Safety systems quietly work in the background, handling lane assistance, adaptive cruise control, and collision avoidance, all without breaking the calm inside the cabin. That said, not everything is perfect. This much size and power means you're always aware of the car's length in tight spaces, and fuel economy is clearly not part of the conversation. And then there's the question everyone's thinking about: how much does all this exclusivity actually cost? Because once we talk about price, value, and whether this extreme version of a Maybach truly makes sense, things get very interesting. This is the moment where everything changes, the point where the Mansory Maybach S680 P720 stops being just an ultra-luxury showcase and proves what it's really about on the road. The first time you push it hard, the experience is honestly shocking. From a standstill, this massive sedan surges forward with a smooth but relentless force, the kind that presses you into the seat without any drama or wheel spin. There's no chaos, no noise overload, just a deep V12 growl in the background and an endless wave of acceleration. For something this long, this heavy, and this luxurious, it feels almost unreal. It doesn't rush, it dominates. Out on the highway, the P720 shows its true personality. Passing slower traffic takes a gentle press of the pedal, and suddenly you're several car lengths ahead, completely composed. The suspension absorbs rough pavement like it barely exists, yet when you switch into a more aggressive driving mode, the car tightens up enough to feel confident and controlled. It's not pretending to be a sports sedan, but it also refuses to feel lazy or disconnected. Here's the surprise: this Mansory-tuned Maybach doesn't sacrifice comfort for performance. Even when driven hard, the cabin stays calm, the steering remains smooth, and the rear passengers would barely notice anything dramatic is happening up front. That balance is the turning point. Most high-power luxury builds either lose refinement or lose excitement. This somehow keeps both. But reality hits when you slow back down. In tight city streets or parking lots, the size becomes unavoidable. You feel every inch of its length, and suddenly the idea of daily driving something like this feels ambitious. This isn't a car you blend into traffic with. So now we're left with the big question: does this unbelievable blend of power, comfort, and presence actually justify what you're about to pay for it? Or is it simply excess for the sake of excess? So here's the bottom line. The Mansory Maybach S680 P720 is not trying to be sensible, efficient, or discreet, and that's exactly the point. This car exists for a very specific buyer, someone who already understands ultra-luxury and now wants something even rarer, louder, and more powerful without giving up comfort. In that mission, it absolutely delivers. The biggest strengths are impossible to ignore. The V12 power is effortless and addictive, the ride quality remains shockingly smooth, and the interior feels more like a custom-built luxury lounge than a production car. The craftsmanship, the presence, and the exclusivity are on a level few vehicles in the US market can match. This is a car that turns every arrival into an event, whether you're stepping out yourself or being chauffeured. But let's be honest about the trade-offs. The size makes city driving and tight parking stressful. Fuel economy is almost irrelevant here, and the price pushes this car far beyond even a standard Maybach, firmly into collector-level territory. This isn't a daily driver, and it's not meant to be. It's a statement piece. In today's US market, where electric luxury sedans and silent efficiency dominate the conversation, a hand-built V12 Maybach feels like a final celebration of old-school automotive excess. Cars like this won't exist forever, and that alone gives it significance. It represents the peak of internal combustion luxury before the industry fully turns the page. So should you buy one? If you want understated elegance, look elsewhere. But if you want one of the most extreme luxury sedans ever built, something that blends brute power with first-class comfort, this is it. Now I want to hear from you. Is this the ultimate luxury sedan, or has it gone too far? Drop your thoughts in the comments, hit that like button if you enjoyed the breakdown, and subscribe for more in-depth car reviews and comparisons.